So there's a new attack in Pokemon Go called Fly. It's a flying type charge move, and right now only Flying Pikachu has it. Now because Flying Pikachu still has Pikachu stats, it's not a really good attacker with the move Fly, but Fly is a move that is available for other Pokemon in the main series games. So the question becomes, which Pokemon could be good with the move Fly? And in this video, I'm going to let you know just that for both raids and PvP content. So starting out, we have the stats for the move Sky Attack and Fly on Game Press. So you can see that they both have the same base power of 80 and the energy cost of 50. However, the difference between them comes in with the damage window and the move cooldown. Fly has a slightly earlier damage window and it has a slightly shorter move cooldown, which means objectively speaking, Fly can only be better than Sky Attack in practice when it comes to raids. Now if you scroll down to the PvP stats, you can see that they're exactly the same. 80 base power, 45 energy cost, they are clones of each other, no extra added effects here. What this means is that when it comes to raids, any Pokemon could benefit by having Fly added to their move pool, and when it comes to PvP, any Pokemon that doesn't have Sky Attack could benefit from having Fly. And using the DPS TDO spreadsheet on Game Press, we can quickly and easily see which Pokemon could benefit from Fly should it be added to their move pools. Now I do have Mega Rayquaza and Mega Pidgeot on here, and my Mega Rayquaza does have the 9% stat tax. I'm not taking my Megas out because I had to put a lot of them in by hand, so they're going to be on my sheet for a while now. But we can see that Mega Rayquaza with Fly can actually overtake Sky Attack Shadow Moltres, which is pretty hype because I'm in the club that kind of hates these Shadow Pokemon being better than normal Pokemon, including Megas, right? If I were to take off the best moveset filter, you can see that Aerial Ace Mega Rayquaza isn't even better than these other Pokemon with Fly. It's not better than Sky Attack Shadow Moltres, that's for sure, by a long shot. But if it were to get Fly, which is effectively Sky Attack, actually better than Sky Attack, then it would be better than Shadow Moltres. Now you might be thinking, Ryan Swag, what if Shadow Moltres were to get Fly? Well, for one, I think it'd be a little redundant for Moltres to get Fly, any of the legendary birds for that matter, because Moltres has Sky Attack, that's like its special event move. Articuno has Hurricane, a special event move, and Zapdos just happens to have Drill Peck, so I think it'd be unlikely for them to get Fly. And if they were to get Fly, it's only a marginal benefit over Sky Attack, so it wouldn't change the DPS ranking on this in a substantial way. Beyond Mega Rayquaza, another interesting thing to point out is Archeops. Archeops was proffered to be the Rampardos of flying type Pokemon, if that makes sense, but Niantic did not give it Sky Attack. And Fly does give it a new opportunity to get a really good charge move for raids. So if Archeops were to get Fly, it would effectively be on Shadow Moltres' level as far as DPS is concerned. And when it comes to TDO, total damage output, which is a more useful metric for tankiness, it's behind it. I mean, what do you want from it? But it ain't no Shadow Pokemon, so power it up, very easy. Trade it, get it lucky, so on and so forth. So fingers crossed here that Archeops gets Fly. I really hope they update it in the future, give it that move. Then you can see Mega Pidgeot finally restores honor to the Pidgeot line, never really being good in Pokemon Go. Mega Pidgeot isn't the top user of Fly, but if it were to get Fly, and like Mega Rayquaza or Archeops didn't get Fly, then that would be pretty big for Mega Pidgeot, should Mega Pidgeot stats turn out this way. Now for those of you at home who are up to date on Rayquaza lore, Rayquaza does have the signature move Dragon Ascent, which is a flying type charge move, so that easily could be better than Sky Attack and Fly when it comes to raids and take Rayquaza to new heights, but we don't have any stats like that in the game yet for Dragon Ascent, so in the future, maybe, but for right now, we can pray on Fly. Now you might be thinking, Ryan Swag, what about Salamence and Dragonite? Like, they both could learn Fly. Like, Salamence's lore is actually known for it having Fly. That's like part of being Salamence, is having Fly. Well, neither of them have flying type fast moves, so if it comes to being like a good raid attacker with Fly, they really want to have that double, you know what I mean? They want to have the fast move and the charge move. And then, of course, compared to like Rayquaza or the majority of these Pokemon featured here, without that fast move, they wouldn't be able to get on their levels. So maybe if we have some more changes in the future, but for right now, this is what we're looking at. Now when it comes to the PvP side of the force, Sky Attack is one of those like Omega attacks that just about everything would enjoy having. So a majority of Pokemon could benefit from getting Fly, should they get it. But going through the majority of those Pokemon, there are 4 that I found to be most significant should they get Fly. And those Pokemon are Mandibuzz, Tropius, Dragonite, and Togekiss. When it comes to Mandibuzz, Mandibuzz isn't in the game yet, but it is proffered to be a decent Pokemon in the Great League and the Ultra League. In the initial Game Master for Mandibuzz, despite it not being out yet, it did have Sky Attack. But quickly after, the Game Master was updated, and they removed Sky Attack from Mandibuzz. Presumably because Sky Attack Mandibuzz was going to be a little bit too powerful for Niantic's liking in PvP. That was the assumption. Well, Mandibuzz still isn't out yet, and they could update that Game Master again and give it Fly. So Mandibuzz with Fly would be as good as Mandibuzz with Sky Attack. Mandibuzz with Sky Attack was going to be insane, and yeah, it would be awesome if it were to get Fly. Now when it comes to the Tropius and Togekiss side of the force, I can see a lot of people sitting back and going, Ryan Swag, those Pokemon are really powerful already. They have Aerial Ace already. They don't need to have Fly. They don't need an upgrade. Yeah, but if they were to get this upgrade, it would be pretty substantial for them. I mean, when it comes to Tropius, Tropius can only really throw Leaf Blades, and if the Pokemon were to resist the Leaf Blade and / or be weak to the Aerial Ace, even then, a lot of the time, it's just going to want to throw the Leaf Blade still. So it's like, you know, Tropius is pretty limited in that respect. If Tropius were to get Fly, which is essentially Sky Attack, I think that could open up some new doors for Tropius, being even better in Great League PvP than it already is. And the same situation goes for Togekiss. I've noticed that a lot of Togekisses in PvP have been swapping over to Aerial Ace after the Ancient Power nerf, basically trying to get that little bit of chip damage in before going down because it is a lower energy cost charge move than Flamethrower is. Of course, if you can reach the Flamethrower, definitely a lot better, right? But if it were to have Fly, which is effectively Sky Attack, that'd obviously be better for the Togekiss. And then when it comes to Dragonite, I didn't notice any situations where Dragonite like substantially gained from having Sky Attack / Fly, but it does come earlier than Hurricane does. So if you are in that situation where your Dragonite is caught by a Charm User, Fairy type Pokemon, you need to rely on that Hurricane to do some damage to them, well, the Sky Attack / Fly does come earlier, so you could get a shield or hurt them that much sooner, which could be pretty critical in a lot of matches, especially if there's prior energy, prior damage involved. So I think it would make Dragonite a little bit more consistent of a Pokemon. And that's about all I really noticed as far as Pokemon that heavily benefit from having Fly. I mean, there's a lot of Pokemon that do benefit personally, like they could be a really bad Pokemon and they could become a slightly less bad Pokemon. But if you're considering like the meta viability, did they make a substantial gain that actually makes them good? I feel like those 4 are the only ones that are really benefiting. And before I wrap this video up, what about Ho-Oh? I imagine a lot of you guys are wondering about Ho-Oh. I forgot to mention it earlier, but if you go to page 2 of the DPS TDO calculator, with the select few Pokemon I added Fly to, admittedly, I could have added more, Ho-Oh is on page 2. Ho-Oh is not that much better with Fly, unfortunately. Hidden Power Flying with Fly, it's not bad, but it's not good. And then when it comes to PvP, it ain't really going to make Ho that much better. So, Sacred Fire, make that good, maybe Ho will have a chance, but Fly, nah. And that about wraps it up. If you got any questions on this content, comment below, let me know what's up, and I'll be happy to help you out. And if you enjoyed this content and you want to see more like it, well, make sure to subscribe to SwagTips. I'd also like to give a special shout out to these Patreon supporters. If you want to support the Swagman on Patreon, link in the description.